All right, so you guys can help me with this. What do I got to do first? Move stuff. Okay. Make it equal 0. So what we have to make sure, because the quadratic formula only works if it looks like this. And it doesn't, so we have to move stuff, right? So I'm going to take this and figure out a way to make that equal to 0. In other words, we got to move 3x and plus 4 over to the other side of the equal sign. So I'm going to say negative 3x and then minus 4, both in one step. What? Yeah, you can do that. Negative 3x minus 4. So now 4x squared is not a like term with 3x. This is x to the second power. This is x to the first. So we just leave them separated. But 4 and 5 are both constants. So negative 5 minus 4 is a negative 9. And that whole bad boy is equal to 0. Now I'm going to say that A is equal to 4. B is equal to what? Negative 3. What's C equal to? Now, as you look at this, this is just asking us to set up the quadratic formula. All right, so the quadratic formula is x. How many of you guys had to look at your notes for the formula? Or let me rephrase that question. How many of you guys kind of know it from the top of your head? Good. That's good. That's good. So we're going to say negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So now I just kind of plug it in. Minus 3 plus or minus the square root of negative 3 squared minus 4 times a, which is 4, times c, which is negative 9, all over 2 times a, which is 4. What was the answer? B. Let me double check. Negative 3, yep, plus or minus the square root of negative 3 squared minus 4. Yep, B is the correct answer. B is the correct answer. How many of you guys double checked it on your calculator? Oh, wah, 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 wah. That's all right. It is the right answer. So, if you were taking the SAT, though, you really should double check that. Because the reason for that is, on the SAT, these other answers are common mistakes. For example, what if I forgot? What if I thought that 9, well, like what if I wrote down positive 9, right? Well, that's the only difference between B and D. So if I made a simple mistake, like wrote down a positive 9, and I selected D, I would think I have the right answer. We probably should double check. So grab your calculators. Let's form that good habit now. Clear out the screen. Hit program. Quadratic formula. A was 4. B was negative 3. And C was negative 9. I get these crazy decimals. Whoo! All right, so let me flex my calculator skills. We did not reduce this, but I could start parentheses if I hit negative. I'm going to put the whole numerator in parentheses. So I'm going to put negative 3 plus the square root symbol. Start parentheses. Negative 3 squared. Now you got to use the minus sign because we're subtracting 4 times a, but a is 4 in parentheses, times -9. Use the right cursor. Come out of the parentheses, then close the parentheses. So notice how I've got these big parentheses and I have the whole numerator plugged in. Then I'm going to say divided by. I have to start, now I have to put the denominator in parentheses. 2, open parentheses, 4. See what I did there? Now if I hit enter, well, bam, with the bacon sizzle, I get one of the answers. Now that's a lot of stuff to type in. So watch this. If I hit second and enter, see how in blue it says entry? What I'm telling the calculator to do is put in the last entry, but don't calculate yet. So now I'm going to move my cursor over. The only difference is this plus sign right in front of the square root symbol. What do I change that to? Minus. So I put a minus sign in there. Now from here, if I hit enter, well, bam, with the bacon sizzle, I get the other answer. Think this is a game? Think I'm playing around with you kids? I don't know why you came to school, but I came to do math. So as long as those two numbers match up with the other two numbers, we are good to go. What? I don't think so. As long as you're going through it, I put it there to remind you guys. The question is, do we need to write those numbers down in our notes? I don't think so. I just want you guys to be, it's the same with write down the formula, right? I want you guys to be familiar with, okay, I did it on the calculator. I got the right answers. We got to be able to double check. Because when you take the SAT, Mr. Adams isn't going to have the solution manual and say, oh, yeah, the answer is B. You don't know. So you need to know a way to double check your work and really confirm that you have the right answer. Okay? All right, that's it for that one.